How's it going, everybody? Thanks for tuning into my video today. Today I'm going to be talking just a short video, hopefully keep it brief, 5 or 10 minutes, but talking about something that is really honestly super fascinating to me. And I'm not doing this video to be edgy or to be cutting to offend anyone or to attack anybody who belongs to this group. It's simply to objectively look at this symbol and to talk about what I believe it means, what I believe is behind it, what's driving some of its ideas, and also just how we as people, I'm no less prone to this, but be how we are influenced by symbols and by flags. And so today I'm talking about the pride flag, which is a very popular symbol. It's probably the most popular symbol in the world today. Everybody around the world waves this flag as a symbol of acceptance of I see it as a symbol of progressively moving forward, past boundaries, past limitations. Specifically, obviously, it's celebrating different types of sexuality, aberrations of sexuality, be it homosexuality, transsexuality, and other forms of sexuality under this unifying umbrella. And this spectrum of different sexualities, different genders, different beliefs, even it's tied in with a political belief as well, but it's all held under this umbrella of a spectrum of colors, because there's no other better way to examine a spectrum than to talk about, or to show a picture of a spectrum than to show a picture of all the colors in the color spectrum. And so the rainbow is the idea of light hitting through, I might get this a little bit wrong, but light hitting through a water molecule or a set of prisms, and it splits and refracts in different ways and shows different colors, different light colors, and it's beautiful to behold. But basically, if you picture the light penetrating through the water molecule and splitting off in the different directions into red, yellow, blue, purple, whatever. I don't think purple is one of them, but maybe. You have one splitting into many. So you could say one belief system splitting into many belief systems. Maybe a monotheistic, maybe an old style of religion, traditional religion, coming through this era of modernity and splitting into a more pluralistic, relativistic set of belief systems. So there's really a lot of places you can go with just this, what the symbol is, and that's, I think, important to grasp when you're thinking about, was this all intended when the rainbow was thought of as a symbol for inclusivity, first of all, for gay rights, and for the idea of tolerance, tolerating other people's way of life, and supporting that, even supporting their way of life. But now it's more than that. Now it's you must agree with this way of life or you're a horrible person, right? If you see that flag and it gives you a distaste, that means that you are XYZ, you're a racist or a homophobe or whatever it is. Even though really when some of us see the flag, we see echoes of things that historically under flags have not been the greatest, right? Forced speech, forced thought, an idea of you must conform to this ideology or else you will not be accepted. Everybody's accepted as long as they adhere to this law. So the rainbow flag has a lot of interesting meanings and stuff. that a lot of them I don't think were quite intended in the original design of the flag. But one of the most obvious and simple meanings that I think exists within the rainbow flag is that it is a flag itself. That seems really obvious, but um, flags can flags or symbols can hold together a ton of meaning, and they can mean different things to different people depending on different people's backgrounds or different people's understanding of what that flag symbolizes. Like the American flag symbolizes for somebody who loves America, patriotism, like freedom of speech, all the good things associated to America, and it symbolizes some for somebody who is like critical of America, the negative things associated with America, and so the Tao symbol, the yin and the yang, symbolize light and darkness. That there's darkness that's possible in light, and that there's light that's possible in darkness, and there's a dualistic sense that both of them are kind of they're equal forces, equal and opposite, but both like kind of at harmony with one another, and that our universe as it exists is dependent on both of them. So but the ideas that you could write a book on what that symbol is are brought together in a simple picture, and that simple picture is easily absorbable for a simple mind, right? And so trust me, I'm not saying that everybody who adheres to these symbols are simple-minded, but they lay a foundation. They're foundational. Symbols are foundational for people who, when they're maybe younger and they don't have the ability to critically think about what that symbol may mean, that there's good things in it, but there also may be possibly negative things or untrue things about it, that they're not able to critically process that. But that symbol is formative for the religion. Like the symbol of the cross is formative for Christianity, because the cross like represents a lot of different things, but it's easily represented in the symbol. So in the same way, the pride flag is a symbol that is easily recognizable and absorbable for a person, even though they don't understand all of the meaning behind it. I think of a little child who, like, because I see, especially in the last few years, children waving pride flags, like obviously their parents saying like, here's a pride flag, or they'll be walking down the street and somebody will hand them a pride flag and they'll start waving it and they're like, what is this? And the person who gives it to them says, well, this just means that we love everyone, and that love is love, and that we are accepting of everybody, no matter who they are, right? Or something like that. And a child is going to recognize that that's a good thing, right? Obviously. But it doesn't actually say like, this is in support of whatever sexual practice that you want to do, no matter what, it's all okay. So and the celebration of sexual immorality, right? Like that's not what they're going to tell the kid that it is. So initially the kids like placement of what that flag is intended to mean is going to be associated with a positive idea or an ideal or a higher belief system. And it's also very formative because like initially it brings like many different colors, and so there's like the idea of what the flag actually looks like, and that's forming like a substructure for an ideology, and that's building the children up in this belief system, and it's kind of laying the foundation. But also the recognition that like if this flag is representative of everything positive and good under the sun, love, goodness, equality, tolerance, well then anything that is negative that's said about the flag, or any criticism, or anybody who doesn't like the flag or refuses to wave it, they must be contrary to those things as well, which we're not, right? We believe in love and equality and tolerance, like, but we are against some of the other things that the flag represents, like all-out sexual immorality the rebellion against God, like persecution of the Christian church. Those are things that we've also recognized as not saying that everybody who flies the flag is involved in those things, but like that we recognize that the flag is associated with those things as well as many others. So this video was just a short one to talk about symbolism and flags. So and it's considered highly offensive in our age, but a lot of my videos are just honestly, I think pointing out the obvious, but you're not allowed to say things, and that's something that's scary about this flag too, is like, you're not allowed to criticize this flag. Well, why not? If we live in a land where like ideas are allowed to breathe, and if that flag really represents all the best ideas, then it should be able to stand up against criticism without simply getting angry at anybody who criticizes it, right? It should be able to refute the criticisms that I make against it if they're not true, and the flag is representative of what's true. But ultimately, in the end, I believe that the flag represents things that are not true, and that it sells itself, like it prostitutes itself, one might say, to little children, to sell itself as something that it's not, in order to make these children zealous for an ideal that they don't really fully understand. And I think that persecution of the church is largely going to be attributable to the idea of this symbol. And I think that that's a lot of Christians recognize that that's real as well. So, like, if it was a true flag, like if the flag was true and everything about it was good, it wouldn't have to tell people that it was something that it's not. It wouldn't have to like hide some of the things about itself to children in order to get children to wave the flag. So the fact that it has to hide reveals to me that there's darkness that lives in it, right? Because it's not the pure light, it's refracted light. So it has elements of what's true and good in it, but it's only reflective light viewed through a prism and seen apart from the source. And obviously the other idea is that it's the rainbow biblically is symbolizing a time after God's judgment when he promised people that he wouldn't judge the world in the way that he did through flooding. That whatever judgment he was going to bring about, it would not be in that way. So it's interesting that like the symbol that they chose to adopt biblically, what it symbolizes is God's covenant with his people, with Noah, and a promise, but that promise itself was associated with the judgment of all mankind. So just food for thought. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe I'm way off, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just going to speak my mind in these videos and let come of it what may. God bless you.